And I think a lot of the time what we do is whenever you are trying to be too productive, the reason I think it's destructive, the reason why I would assume it's destructive productivity is because whenever you falter or you fail in for example, your ideal productive day, or you missed the workout, the gym, or you didn't end up getting your 2 hours in of sleep or whatever it is, and in the afternoon, you kind of go to yourself, damn, man, the day's ruined, and and then everything starts toppling over.
Yeah.
It's the idea of perfectionism,
It's the thing. It's like sometimes honestly, that's how I used to be. I used to think if I didn't read today, it was a wasted day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't finish my to-do list, but I don't know how. I don't think like that anymore because I know I'm gonna go back to it tomorrow.
Yep.
But it is one of those things where it's like that's when it becomes destructive, when you don't do the thing on your to-do list, when you don't do the certain habit, you actually look back and say, what a waste of a day.
Fair Dinkum.
G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Fair Income Podcast.
Woo.
Unfortunately, Legendary isn't here today because of personal circumstances, but got the boys with the 3-man buns. That's all that matters.
He's too busy dissecting some animals, so we're going to have to hold down the podcast for today.
Unfortunately, no one's sitting next to me. I feel a bit alone here.
Don't you feel like that's just your life in general? Loner!
That's getting deep, huh?
That should be the first topic. Am I a loner? No, I don't want to hear the answer.
The difference between being alone and being a loner.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to talk to you, but yesterday Ali and I were having some deep chats after we met up, and we just on the drive back, even soccer training, we started like contemplating life.
Marriage.
No.
Carry on.
None of that stuff. Sorry, guys. We started contemplating life because when we were talking and stuff, we started realizing how sometimes overwhelmed we are. Because really, like, Ali just read Essentialism. You can talk about that in a bit.
Top book, 100%.
Loves a book. So, but it was more like talking about how when he was talking about it, in my head, I'm like, I can balance all the things I want to do. You know, when people, like I heard one guy told me, like the man who tries to catch 2 rabbits catches neither. Okay? When I heard that, I was like, damn it. But then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not trying to catch the rabbits. Maybe, but I'm trying to I said I can do whatever I want. I can balance it all out. I can list them, but I can do like 6-7 things in my life and I can handle them all. Because even if I don't get 100% in all of them, I can get like 60%.
Yeah.
So I'd rather get 60% in 8 things than 3 things at 100, because then you miss out. Like if you do your health, finances and family, it's like you miss out on your dean studies, or you miss out on your soccer, you miss out on your friends. So I tried to do like 60% in all, and then I realized, man, you can't. Like at least I realized I can't.
Yeah.
Everyone's different, and that's the main thing, but I really can't do it all, unfortunately. And that's the toughest thing, because you can do it for weeks. Like I did it, for example, for the last month and a half. We're doing the challenge and stuff like that. I smashed out everything. I'm consistent, but it's not
sustainable
long term.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, you're not, since you're not putting 100% in, the chances of finishing those things as well, or actually putting all your ability in it, it's not possible. Because honestly, you need time as well to relax, time to actually socialize, not just like all this non-stop, I have to improve, I need to do this and that. It's like sometimes you just need to sit back, relax, enjoy life a bit.
But the productivity aspect, you want to be productive, and that's what I'm going to go with it. But you want to be productive and you want to make the most of your time, which isn't bad. Yeah. But it's more like
burnout is a thing, bro.
Yeah.
Burnout is
but the biggest thing is you start to hate the stuff you do.
No, 100%.
Like I enjoyed certain things. Like, for example, soccer training. Ali didn't want to go yesterday. I didn't want to go. Because I'm like, bro, every single time I go, my calves get tight. I hurt my hip last night. I'm like, bro, then I have to do... Because it's not just 2 hours. It's stretching before, stretching after. The next day, you need a stretch, you need a massage gun, foam roll. You need to actually take care of your body. You need to eat well, nutrition, hydration.
100%.
Some people, mashallah, may Allah reward you, they can go play soccer, not stretch, and never get injured. Me, I play 5 minutes and I popped my hip flexor or something like that. There's always something happening,
You're getting old, bro. We've got to start selling you for parts. Okay.
You won't get anything.
Start right off, huh? But yeah, no, I agree with you that it's that thing, the jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And what happens is, like, we have a limited amount of energy. I remember Salim, shout out Salim. So Salim said it.
Salim,
I keep
Salim,
saying I keep saying it wrong, bro. Even on the podcast, I got it wrong. But Salim said it. Yeah, we got energy. Yeah, we've only got a certain amount of energy. You know, and then what happens is like, I'll give you an example because I drive a lot for work in the morning. Yeah, I was like, why is my attention span so bad? Then I realized that, bro, when you're on the road, you've got to be switched on 100% of the time. Because you're off for like 1 second and bang, car accident, you know? So if I'm driving 5 hours a morning, like that energy there is probably already consumed, you know? And then a lot of the time, what happens is when I go to do other things, like for example, sit there to do work or to exercise or to do whatever, it's very hard. So like I'll have to use like outside means like coffee or like I'll get my brother to slap me across the face before I go do a workout. So, do you know what I mean? Sound like that.
Does that work?
No. But I got the beard to
He
protect
enjoys
you
it.
know?
But it's like a stimulant or something that's going to kind of G you up.
Yeah.
But you only have a finite amount of energy that you can use towards everything.
Yeah, bro. And one thing that I learned as well, and on that productivity thing that you're going, because I know you're going to segue towards that, being overly productive and trying to fit as much things in a day as you can isn't always the best thing.
Okay, on that's the interesting thing. I'll ask first, do you think there's such thing as destructive productivity?
Yes.
Okay, why?
No question about it. Only because I tried at one stage in my life. I remember trying to juggle 10. It was like 8 things actually. Yeah. So like this is my last semester of uni. So I was doing presidency stuff for the Islamic Society, and then I was also I was working for my parents in the morning, and this was like 4 a.m. wake up or whatever it was on the day. And then you rock up to uni and you're trying to finish a course as well at the same time. You're trying to do jiu-jitsu and go to the gym. And then on top of that, you know, you got mates you want to socialize with. And then you want to also like, and then I also wanted to like, you know, to do my own thing, like play FIFA or, you know, get that kind of leisure time as well. And one thing that you noticed, bro, I was on the jiu-jitsu mats, bro. I remember this, the start when I was doing like, not to like hype myself up or anything, I was pretty good, you know? Like, if there was a guy who was a white belt with me, he's not going to tap me out, you know? I'm going to have at least the strength aspect of it. And then by like 7 weeks of that routine, dead, like burnt out completely. And I had this guy that I was like, I would tap him out like 6 times in a day for a laugh, yeah? Or 6 times in a session for a laugh. This guy, I was struggling to even like advance position on him. Like it was that bad. Like, you can imagine going from finishing him in 12 seconds to not being able to finish him at all. Like, it's like, it's very...
Plateaued and you just went downhill.
Bro,
Your confidence is just crushed from that. I can imagine.
Bro, confidence. And you're in your head, you're like, bro, what's going on? Why isn't it working? Da, da, da. And for us, Zahabi touched on it. He goes, it takes... It's bad because what happens is when you burn out, you actually think it's like depression, or you think it's like you're in like a hole, or you're in like a rut or something like that. And then it just kind of like, it's not just the one thing that caused you that, like, you know, the way, like for example, the thing that tipped you over the edge, you're thinking, oh, it's just this, you know, or for it's just uni, it's because of studying that I'm kind of pushed over the edge. But it's actually the accumulation of all those things into one that's kind of pushed you over the edge. And then, you know, you've kind of gone, oh, you know, I probably can never go back to uni again now, or like, I can't do soccer anymore because, you know, it takes a lot of energy out of me. But then you realize that there were underlying issues already as it was, or your schedule was already mashed up, you know? So you were kind of like, let me just put the blame on one thing, but the root cause is something else, you know? Which is usually the case, but I'll let you go ahead.
That's what was happening last night when I was talking to Ashraf, like on the drive back after we caught up and that. I started blaming football. Even though it's like my number one love, I started saying, it takes so much time. I have to stretch. Obviously, you get injuries, so it's like setbacks. You obviously got to train well, play well in order to like keep your contract or whatever. It's just like I started blaming football. It's like, oh, I just want to like take a break from it. And then it's like you said, bro, exactly what you said, underlying issues. It's not just football. It's not just the one thing in your life. It's just like accumulation of so many things. You're probably doing too much or too much of those things, where it's like you just need to take that time to take a break, relax.
Definitely.
But is it a break or is it removing things from your life? Because a break it means you have like, for example, 3 days off, and then you go back and you're gonna have
Still full on.
juggle those 8 things.
Yeah.
Is it a break or is it a because if you're gonna, it's like what insanity is, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah.
Regardless if you have a break or not, you're going to the same life. So you might have to change your habits, your life.
Well, adjust. Yeah,
to
definitely.
expect different results.
That's good you said that, because I'll probably go back after today doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it probably is removing things, or like, let's just say, for example, if your things are uni and then you have work or like soccer training, you just have to, like, I guess, minimize it. So like, if you want to go to the gym or soccer training 5 days a week, maybe just go 3, and then or 2 even. And those other days, it's like you make time for yourself or other things.
Definitely.
Socialize.
Definitely. As long as you stay consistent in what you're doing. Like, for example, you have to have like a priority list, You have to realize what's first on your list, what's like not going to budge. You can't take any hours
Non-negotiables,
off.
they call it.
Yeah, pretty much. You can use your terminology on me, but
Yeah.
no, I'm joking. But yeah, you find your non-negotiables, and then you kind of make a list and work your way down from that. Because then you'll start to find out like, oh, there's some useless stuff that I'm doing. Like, for example, for me, I was like, I'm bugging out. Like, the semester for uni starting soon. I'm like, how the hell am I got no time to do the things that I want to do now? Imagine putting 3 units a semester on top of that.
Oh my God, that happened to me last week.
You know what I mean?
I told Ali that yesterday because I'm applying for full-time jobs. I'm like,
Sure.
I have no time now. Imagine adding like 40 hours onto my week. Plus commute.
100%.
It seems
100%.
impossible. Yeah.
But then that's the thing. Then you start to realize that, okay, hang on. There was times where I was just sitting there doing this, or like, for example, I would sit there, and when you read, like, for example, I know you like to read. Keep doing this to him. But say you like to read, you might have to switch to audiobooks. You get your information. It's like I told him to do kifr, bro. But no, what I'm saying is you have to switch.
I know.
Like, just because it kind of becomes a more convenient method of getting that knowledge in.
100%.
If you do an hour and a half gym workout or something, you have to cut to 45 minutes to fit
get
it
it short and sharp. If
Yeah.
you go with people, and that's the reason it's causing you to go for an hour and a half,
in.
ask the people. Tell them go on your own, you go on your own, and that's it.
On that, with going back to destructive productivity, I realized, I think so everyone has different thresholds for productivity. You might say to someone, oh, studying 3 hours is too much in a day. Someone goes studying 8 hours, is it even a lot?
Yeah, definitely.
So everyone has different thresholds. The same as like balancing different things. Like I know on autopilot, I can push myself every day to do most of these stuff. But I just know I need to start incorporating like leisure activities and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think destructive productivity leads when it's destructive when you try to do too many things.
Oh, differs.
But certain people, like for example, they say like students of knowledge, people studying medicine, they can study like 10, 12 hours a day because it's one task.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not as destructive because your mind's just working on one thing and you kind of delve more into it. But when you try to I wake up 6 a.m. and I go mosque, and then I do Quran class something, and then I go gym, and then I go work, and then I go soccer training, and I have a meeting, and I have a recording, and you're doing like 12 different things. It's like you said about your brain residue, like your mind is switching between tasks. There's too many tasks for your mind to start thinking about, but when there's one, you can delve into it more.
Definitely.
So I think that's why like they don't have like, from what I know, the burnout isn't as much like here, like Elon Musk or these stories, because they're doing one thing, they can smash it out.
Yeah.
But when you try to do 7 different ones, that's when it starts becoming destructive and starts becoming overwhelming because there's too many different tasks in your life pulling you in different directions.
100%. And you have to, when a lot of your energy is focused in one area, it's not hard to switch to 1 or 2 other things, But if you're trying to make sure that energy is consistent in one area, but then you can kind of dabble in the other ones, it's a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? Like for us, for example, I'm pretty sure Ali wants to be a gun footballer, You want to be the best you can be, inshallah, And the thing is, whenever that's on the back of your mind, like after a game, for example, maybe you didn't perform as well as you wanted to, or maybe you didn't get the recognition, and then the next day that carries out into his, for example, he's at uni and he's sitting there in class, but he wants to be good at uni too. That's why I hate referencing this guy, but Charlemagne, and the word that you guys always bag me about, compartmentalization comes in, bro.
Keep using it, bro.
You know what I
So
mean?
good.
It's like you have to, and the method is basically also take yourself away from the situation for at least a minute or two, like taking deep breaths and kind of like bringing yourself back in the moment, and then going, okay, now this switch has been flipped, and then I've gone from this is soccer Ali I've gone from soccer early, now I'm uni early, yeah?
Mm.
And then when I'm finished with uni early, I go to fair income early. And then fair income early, I switch to, you know what I mean? But then, like, it's hard because you have to keep flipping the switch, you know?
But how many identities can you have until it becomes a burden on you?
I know.
That's why it can't be that many. Like,
Unfortunately, everyone has different levels. Though you might have 6, someone might have 3, someone might have
Yeah.
8.
Definitely.
but it's also how much time those things take in your week, like in order to, improve to whatever your goals are, or actually achieve your goals.
Mm.
So like uni, for example, that's going to take a lot, especially depending on your degree. Certain degrees you need more hours, so it's obviously going to take more time, and you can't take on more things in your week.
Do you think there's toxic productivity?
I think it can become, but there's certain things you can do that can make it not. Like, for example, as a student, if you count yourself like as a student of knowledge, and they say they used to study 16 hours a day, studying the deen, and because it's of 16 hours is a bit much, that's hard to maintain, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you pursue one thing, it might be manageable, but you have to create habits in your life that can make it manageable. Like, you need to have actually a leisure and hobby activity where it takes your mind off it. You need to actually make time to not think about being productive.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, like, for example, I don't do that. I don't make time to say, let me watch a TV show. My days, minute to minute, I plan to be productive. And because of that, you burn out.
Yeah, definitely.
But if I say Monday nights or Sunday, I can do this. But there's no area in my life, like even now with the challenge food, there's not one area in my life where I can actually take my mind and just put on autopilot. Do you get that? And that's the toughest bit. It's like, okay, I'll have one. It's like soccer training. It's like, okay, that's my fitness for the day. That's my workout. Everything is ticking off a box.
Yeah.
But you need to have one thing where it's like, okay, you're not ticking off a box. You're just enjoying the moment.
Yeah. But you know what it is as well. Sometimes we look at these guys. For example, you give that example of the guy who's a student of knowledge, and he does 16 hours. We don't know the backstory. That brother probably either was raised into becoming a student of knowledge, so this is already a given from a young age,
True.
or he built his way into that. You know what I mean? So he's kind of already created that foundation where he's kind of used to studying only this and that's it, and maybe his social cultural situation is built around that built around his ideal of becoming a student of knowledge, for example. And I think a lot of the time what we do is whenever you are trying to be too productive, the reason I think it's destructive, the reason why I would assume it's destructive productivity is because whenever you falter or you fail in for example your ideal productive day, or you missed the workout, the gym, or you didn't end up getting your 2 hours in of sleep or whatever it is, and in the afternoon, you kind of go to yourself, damn, man, the day's ruined, and and then everything starts toppling over.
Yeah.
It's the idea of perfectionism,
It's the thing where it's like sometimes, honestly, that's how I used to be. I used to think if I didn't read today, it was a wasted day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't finish my to-do list. But I don't know how, I don't think like that anymore, because I know I'm going to go back to it tomorrow.
Yep.
But it is one of those things where it's like, that's when it becomes destructive, when you don't do the thing on your to-do list, when you don't do the certain habit, you actually look back and say, what a waste of a day. It's like there's so many things you could be grateful on that day, but instead you're looking at the negative, you missing one habit that you're probably going to go back to tomorrow.
Definitely. And there was a guy that I was watching talk about, I can't remember who it was, but basically he goes, diets, yeah? You would think that if somebody ate a completely clean diet, they would often have better health than somebody who doesn't.
Yeah.
Incorrect. There's actually studies that show if somebody has a diet where they fail every so often, yeah, or they plan within it like the cheat meal or whatever it is, it's actually shown better results over the long term health wise. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of that.
fail.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like I can't remember. I'll find the reference and then I'll get Ahmed to put it on the screen. But like
I understand that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they say like aim for the, aim super high. So if you miss, you at least go.
But also you want to callous your body, bro. Can you imagine if like this is like going back to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about inna ma'al usri yusra, yeah? Imagine if everything was just all good here on earth, Imagine if all you did was get what you want and you just succeeded. And like if you didn't fail, you didn't stuff up, where's the idea of improvement going to come from, There's no improving, there's just, okay, stay the same. There's just always like, Yeah, continue to do the same thing. Continue to keep going in this direction. You know what I mean? And then there's no adjustments, and the adjustments is usually where the success comes from. You know, or where the improvement comes from.
It's testing the waters to kind of like increase your threshold, like for productivity and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think a big thing is people, because of that word, destructive productivity, it's like for training, people use the word overtraining, and they kind of use these terminologies as an excuse to not push themselves.
Yeah.
So that's where it's actually an issue, where someone goes, "Oh, I've been too productive today, it's going to become destructive." It's like, fam, all he did was read for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
How do you like how do you know where the balance is though? That's why.
Just everyone's
Like as in
different,
with
yeah.
because like pushing a threshold, I'm all for that, 100%. But then it's like you can easily get caught up with like, is this the threshold? Or am I actually am I overtraining?
It's first,
Your mind can convince
First of
yourself
all,
like
overtraining is an air raid. I'll tell you that. All it is under recovering. If you focus enough on recovery, you doing 1-2 sessions a day isn't overtraining.
No, I disagree with that.
I reckon
1-2 sessions a
Uh,
day.
uh,
Come
Oh,
on,
one
bro.
or two sessions a day is different. But when I think of overtraining, I'm thinking of training until your heart fails. And,
That's
and then
different.
you get that guy, the Iron Cowboy, who lost his toenails after 2 Ironmans, and he's trying to do 7 Ironmans in it. Bro, that guy's it. Is he normal, bro?
But that's obviously too extreme. But the levels that we're at, doing
Yeah.
a gym session, doing a soccer session, you're under recovering. That's all it is. Are you eating enough?
No,
Are you sleeping well
Well,
enough?
like, what about like if you're getting back into it and stuff? Like all of a sudden, like you're getting back into the gym, you can't be training every day straight away. You're
Or
gonna.
going
It's not possible.
50 Ks on a treadmill.
That's
when
why, like, you
you
have
have
to
to
build
start
your
running.
way. You have to
There's
build
one
your way
thing
up.
is easing yourself into it, which you have to do. But the second thing is you can't take it too slow, unfortunately, because sometimes it's like, oh, I need to take it slow. And it takes 4 weeks to take it slow. Because, for example, the first time I hit back or chest, it takes me a week to recover. You're actually supposed to, after 4 days, hit it again, even if it's sore, because your muscles get used to working on it. You know?
Interesting.
But if you wait a
agree.
week, it's always going to take a week to recover.
No, I agree with you. I
you
agree
know?
with you.
Yeah, the human body adapts pretty well.
There's
Yeah,
also
that's why,
active
yeah.
recovery. Yeah.
See?
So basically,
I
whenever
love
like,
that.
for example, like I done legs. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, or the first time in ages. You know, because I kept rolling my ankles, and then I done calves at the gym, bro. I was absolutely demolished. Like I couldn't feel my calves for a couple of days, and then I go to myself, you know what? Let me go for a light walk, and then maybe go into a light jog. And I started realizing, hang on, it was actually not as bad as I thought it was.
It loosens
Yeah.
up the muscles. Yeah.
Not only loosens it up, bro. It just kind of like, I don't know what it is.
The
Like
way-
a mind barrier. I think it's like a mind barrier or
That's
something.
all it is, mental barriers. And that's the same thing with productivity though. It's like, oh, I can't, it's like you, when you're like, I can't do any more study. And then you're like, okay, let me only do another 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Then you somehow did an hour and a half and it went like that.
yeah.
You put barriers, and that's what I don't like when people use overtraining, destructive productivity. They use these terms to make excuses to make them feel better. And that's
Yeah,
when you kind
definitely.
of have to switch it around. It's like trial and error, because everyone has different maxes. Just trial and error and find out what's your max.
Your boy Matt Diavella's 5-minute rule, yeah? Was it 5-minute or 12-minute rule?
Okay, tell us, what is it?
Which one is it first? Answer the question.
What's the 5-minute rule?
Yeah,
I'll break
basically-
everything down. Yeah.
Yeah, you break every. No. You just basically go, okay, I wanted to go to the gym today, but I'm not feeling it. But you know what? Let me go do it for 5 minutes
Mm.
and then see how I feel after
Oh,
that.
wow.
And then basically what happens is you end up completing the hour workout,
Yeah.
or you end up doing the hour of study or whatever you had planned initially, because all it was at the beginning of the thing was just your mind is playing tricks on you to tell you that you're not really keen on it. But then when you started doing it and you started delving into it, you're just like, you know what, might as well.
Bro, that's actually so true. That's what happened last night when I went soccer training. I was like, you know what? This guy convinced me to go because I was this close in actually axing.
And it was changed.
And I was changed, and I did all my stretches, like pre-training stretches, and I'm like, nah, I still sleep. Like my mind's playing up. This guy's like, nah, just go, like, just push yourself. Like, who knows what's gonna happen? And then I was thinking to myself, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go. If I train well or not, I don't care. I'll just rock up. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Bro, next thing you know, I had a top session, man. I actually
Definitely.
did so well because you just like you don't care, and your mind's just playing games.
They say that for workouts. They say in the moment or right before, everyone doesn't want to go, but no one ends the workout and says, man, that was a waste of time. I feel like crap. You can say it was a bad workout, but you're never going to be like, I regret going.
Oh, okay, I feel you, yeah.
Unless it was really bad. Then.
I don't want to endorse it, but there's methods of kind of like distracting yourself beforehand and then kind of putting yourself in autopilot mode beforehand. Because usually the dread is like the 15, 20 minutes before you have to go,
Yeah.
you know? But like, I don't know if these methods are religiously acceptable, you know what I mean? Like, for example, this isn't me endorsing it, but like people listen to music or whatever it is, it kind of switches your brain off, and then you kind of go into a different place, or maybe you get G'd, you know what I mean? But they usually, like, people usually do that more often than not, just to kind of like, you know,
Get in the zone.
yeah,
Because
pretty
it
much.
triggers different emotions, and then
Yeah.
obviously.
I didn't want to go gym today because obviously the day before a game, and I'm like, whatever, but obviously I have to do one form of physical activity. And then I went there and I started doing pull-ups and like C's. Then I went on the bench, and then I just started to enjoy it.
Yeah,
you know, it's
pull-ups
like-
are long, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like one of the things I was actually hitting, and I'm like, okay, let me try to hit some good numbers. Then let me try to record it. And I recorded the video for the boys, and I just because I told the boys
what I think about when I go to the
you,
gym.
you have to record because then it tells you the date and the reps or the weight you used to do.
yeah, yeah.
Because then you can look back and go, oh, in May I used to do this. How is it September? I'm still doing the same numbers.
Good way to keep
Just
track.
had keep track. You know, you don't have to send it. I just sent it because it was a G up, and I was like,
Still
okay,
gonna send that.
you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. How about leisure activities? Do you think it's a must? How often should it be? Like hobbies and stuff like that that take your mind off this productivity to-do list kind of thing.
Bro, leisure activities, as weird as it sounds, I feel like I have to plan my leisure activities now.
Like how productive he wants to
No,
be.
no, as in
He has a
because
color-coded calendar, 100%.
what the hell? No, as in because I don't make time for leisure activities at all.
You separate your vitamins as well.
Don't tell everyone that, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, cause there's days where it's like I could have like watched a TV show for a bit, you know, just relaxed a bit or chat to the family for a bit or whatever it is, go for a kick. But it's like, cause you get stuck in, you know, always wanting to do something. You might have to force it sometimes. I don't know, like, do you guys ever
You
have to deal
definitely
with
need
that?
it.
Or is it just
you,
me?
you definitely need it. You definitely need leisure activity. I reckon daily.
Yeah.
If it's a big thing, like for example playing a futsal game, you're not gonna do it daily, obviously.
Mm.
But say for example you like playing FIFA, but then Sundays are usually free. You can go do futsal then, because you have a lot more time free or whatever it is. But daily, like something that just switches your mind off for a bit, you know. Or even if it's like, I don't know, whatever floats your boat, like you like going getting ice creams or whatever it is.
Going
You know?
for walks. So people like art, drawing, and
You know what I
painting
mean?
and
Yeah,
stuff,
just get yourself out of the
Movies,
zone for a
yeah.
bit, man, because the rat race can distract you from the truth, man. That bro, we're all gonna die, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Nah,
much as I hate to say
yeah,
it.
but I think it's a must. 'Cause it really takes your mind to things, takes like the stress out, and you need idle work, you know? Kind of thing.
Astaghfirullah,
Yeah, what?
Azim.
Idle, like
American Idol.
non-conscious tasks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good to
IDLA.
clarify
He was
that.
a pagan, bro.
Who is
Carry
this
on.
like?
It's one of those things.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no,
It's
def-
needed, man. Even just like simple things of playing actual games or board games, like it's almost non-existent board games. I feel these days because we're so stimulated from screens and all. But
Mm.
it's like
We've had some
actually
sick
helps so
board
much.
game sessions too. Yeah.
Like
Bro,
only-
you,
only
need,
rec-
you need funny people.
so me.
recently we bought board games and we're like
Grandmas.
we actually forgot about board games. We walked through like the aisles and see all the games. Like, oh, they actually exist. These things. It's like
They're dead, man.
Still-
Yeah, they cost too much, man.
So you don't know what to do.
$30 with exploding kittens. $30.
I got a $5.
and I
You
got
go
it
to the
pinched.
wrong places,
I got
bro.
it pinched by another brother, and I don't get it back. I
But
need it back.
You
Yeah,
got to
I
get
need
down.
it back.
should I give them the hack for how to get good board games?
100%.
Tell me. Oh, he goes to Savers.
Bro, he gets the safest for board
Can't even
game.
walk in without a
Yeah.
mask, bro. They're the lowest
He
blokes. man.
finds the boards on PDF online and prints them out.
Wallah,
Go, what is it?
yeah. Look at him. Look at him. While he's scored him out. He's got Uno
Who
cards
does
that are
that?
made out of A4 paper from Reflex.
Black and white, but in the corner it says what color it is.
Oh, show me Uno deck.
So I'm an online shopper though. That's why. So what
That's
you do
cute.
is you go to Kmart, you can walk around, or you go to Games World and you ask them what's popular, what's popping, what's been doing well. You ask them what they play, and they talk about it. They're like, what's that?
So
That
scary.
it
Sounds like
actually
the
works.
weirdest combo, but I
They're
actually
like,
rate it.
oh, this is a bestseller. I'm like, I like these type of games. What's something similar? They give you like 5 options. They sell games $50, $60. Kmart $30. I bought them off eBay for like $16.
How about the brother from Kashmir? From Kashmir. Kashmir? How do you say it? I said Kashmir. Kashmir. The brother from
yeah.
Kashmir who watches the podcast. How about if he wants to go and buy board games, but there's no games world around him? What is he
Amazon.
supposed to do?
Amazon, eBay. You know, there's online. You can probably find some online board games. Play
You
chess
will, board
online.
No, chess online's alright, bro.
Categories. Remember we played that online?
Categories now. Oh, wait, which one is that? The one with the lists?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a
They
mad
work,
game,
man.
bro.
love that.
Well, it's a mad thing
Mad.
to do with people. Just play board games and stuff.
And then you're getting in your knowledge as well, yeah?
You love
But
knowledge.
actually, productivity. Problem.
Bro, that's too much.
Yeah, no. But what else do you want to chat about, man?
I wanna
Talk to us. Man.
With that, with productivity, or like with trying to build habit stuff, do you think rewards or consequences like hinder or motivate you? Like with that kind of stuff, like when you're trying to build a habit or stuff like that, like you can use these leisure activities as a reward, which is what I'm trying to do. It's like if I can smash everything after 6 p.m., I don't want to be productive anymore. That's like my, because then it's like a night after dinner, you just relax. The worst thing is trying to be productive like 10 p.m.
It reminds me of, do you remember the Super episode where he goes, they have the Aussie family sitting down at the table, and he goes, if you do not eat your greens, you will not be having a glass of orange juice for dessert.
Brian.
I said I can't have a reward in sitting down at home and leisure activities.
Oh, there's too many things to do, bro. You have to kind of like,
I love you.
you have to
Bro.
kind of just give yourself that freedom.
Nah, I agree with you, 100%. Nah, look, it depends on what we're talking about. Like I was telling you yesterday, remember we had a talk about like, maybe seeing your gains is a motivator, for example, yeah? Remember I told you I can't see it. As soon as I see like a little bit of progress. Far out, man. They were worse. But anyways, I don't.
It takes body pics daily, just so everyone knows.
No, I don't.
No, Allah.
I don't.
Okay, go on.
What I'm saying is, not body pics for anyone else. It's for my own gallery. I don't have an Instagram account. Tells you a lot about me, but carry on. Like for that sort of stuff, for example, yeah, I don't need to see the reward. I don't want to see it, because what happens usually, and I remember this back in the day, I went consistently for like 8 months or whatever. I saw the progress. I got the compliments and da-da-da.
Who complimented you?
Don't worry about that. And basically, I go to myself, nah, you know what? This has got to stop. No, it's got to stop. But basically, what happened was, I kind of go, yeah, just have a couple Oreos extra, do less at the gym now, like maybe go a little bit lighter.
You got what you wanted.
You've already got the shoulders, you've already got the chest. Da-da-da.
Yeah, you do.
Bang, bang. He's the lowest bloke. But you know what I mean? And then you kind of get into this comfortable position. And then the comfortable position, what happens is when you dip, there's kind of like, it's a slippery slope, bro. It's kind of like, there's no way back, bro. There's no way back. The only result is just you completely stopping.
Dangerous, bro.
You kind of fall off the cliff there. And that's for example, for me, personally, when it comes to physical activity or like how I look physically and whatever. But when it comes to things like studies, I need to know I'm doing well, I need that reward where I see the result after all my hard work. Does that make sense? Like getting a HD will get me G to do the next semester of uni.
But would you reward yourself if you get a HD? Like, I can go buy X, Y, and Z or something like that?
Nah, bro.
Okay. So just the accomplishment is the reward.
Huh?
The accomplishment, like getting a HD.
Yeah, that's the only reward, bro. Just like what you're working for. It's not like
It's a good
it's
idea.
so good. Let me go get you a rumble.
That's a good idea, like
Yeah.
a reward system. But then I've never done that as well. I don't know many people that have this reward system, or
Get a
not
schmecker.
even like reward system, but like people reward you from certain accomplishments.
I think what he's saying is, do you motivate yourself through rewards or through the idea of like you completely falling off the edge?
Like not failing.
I think
You know what I mean?
it depends. It's certain things can motivate me in different ways, but I would say with like, let's just say health-wise, diet, why I eat healthy, and it's like fairly consistent unless I'm traveling, you just don't care. Most of it that motivates me is actually like being afraid of dropping and actually like gaining the weight and being unfit to play soccer. Like, it's such a weird thing, but it's like I'm so worried about gaining that weight again. And a lot of people do when, like, obviously people that are bigger, they've once lost the weight, and it's like, now I can't go back. It's not possible. That's why people go on these like extreme measures of like fitness, and their whole lifestyle changes and that. So I think it depends on what aspect in your life. So
the idea of falling off would kind of motivate you more than
rewards.
here's
Like
a glass of
Yeah.
orange juice,
Yeah.
Ali.
yeah.
And a good boy
Yeah.
at
Or
school.
here's $50 if you do this. That won't really motivate you. It's more about you don't want to go into this like bad state.
I want to know what he has to say. Sorry, okay.
We'll get back to that. Yeah, 100%. Like fitness wise, I think for sure. Fitness wise, I'd say what motivates me is actually like trying to avoid to see the other side of being unfit and stuff. Like when we came back from Sydney the other week, I missed out on training for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I'm at the back of the pack of like fitness and that, and it's just like all these insecurities are coming back to me mentally, and it's just like I'm losing my love for soccer again. It's like I don't want no, but this is what happens in my head. It's like
I hope he never goes through anything in his life.
no, it's just little things like that hinder different people. So it's like that's why I'm a bit more stricter with my diet. Or if like I have to train this many days a week because I don't want to get back to that state.
Are you strict where you give yourself like a cheat meal or no cheat meals then?
Well, because this challenge, there's no cheat meal.
Meals.
Yeah. Yellow leather, red leather. Yeah. Yeah. So like about half the challenge, it would be like once a week thing where I have a cheat meal the day after the game.
Okay.
But then it's like something in my head is just like this is nice, you know. The cheat meal could turn into a cheat day. It's not too bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the slippery slope idea.
Definitely,
That's
bro.
so
Wallah,
dangerous, bro.
It's so bad. I don't know. For some people, it is. Yeah.
That's why I needed to go to back to your 2-day rule you spoke about. The best way to build any 2-day rule.
It's the 2-day rule that he had.
Not 2 minutes.
Where did I hear the 5-minute thing from then?
I think James Clear talks about Atomic Habits.
Is it?
But yeah, I think so.
I
But
knew I heard it from somewhere, bro.
yeah, because he talks about the guy that went to the gym and just read a magazine.
Yeah,
Didn't work out.
Yeah,
But he's
definitely.
keen. But yeah, the 2-day rule, it's like even if you have an off day, never have 2 off days in a row.
Yeah, that's.
So you can have 4 off days in a week, but it's never 3 in a row or 2 in a row, because as soon as it's in a row, it's harder to start the habit again. So go gym, don't go gym, go gym, don't go gym, but don't miss 2 days in a row, because the 3rd day is the hardest to get back. Same with like cheat meals and stuff like that.
How about yourself, bro? Do you dabble in a protein shake after doing a good workout, just as a reward?
That's just
Or
normal.
maybe you get to do a bit of extra affirmations.
I've never done affirmations, but I do reward myself. Like for example, because I try to budget and stuff, try to be conscious of my money.
Yep.
So I say to myself, like when I was trying to build habits, I said, okay, if I can do this habit for a week, I used to have a nice list of like 5 habits. I want to do 10 habits. I said, if I do this every day, I get $10 spoiling money. And if I do this, I get 15. This is 25. Then I'd build up, and I'll have like.
You gotta get your money up, but carry on.
Nah, but because it adds up, it's like small habits. Like I do sunnah fajr every day for the week, I get $10. Then it builds up, and I have like $150, and I can spend the money without like just
Any guilt.
unconditional. Don't even think about it. Just spoil myself with it. Like I can go get a massage. I can go buy nice shoes, and don't think, oh, I might take it for my spendings, because I've earned it through these habits or whatever.
I know what you mean.
Because there's a guy, he's called he wrote the book behind you, like the 6 steps to being financially free, like a millionaire mindset. Okay, and he said you should have like 10%. If you want to be a millionaire, you gotta sometimes live your life like a millionaire. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like pretend you had spare money. So he goes, 10% of your income should be put into a spoiling account. And I didn't want to spoil myself like 10%, but I thought if I do habits, I'll kind of have that spoiling where it's like, I don't even care. I'll kind of just buy something. So I'll go shopping and spend $200 on clothes and not care. Where normally I'd be more conscious of it.
That's how I know I have an issue. That's how I know you have white man blood in your veins as well.
Yeah, like,
You guys are different.
Spoiling money. Me, bro, no, I'm bad. Like, if I'm being honest, like I tried to do this thing where I was like, yeah, I have to lose a certain amount of weight before I can buy another football kit, yeah? And then basically what happened was I ended up buying a football kit anyway. After the day after I had actually said that, yeah? And I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. I need to basically see, like, for example, I need to see the fruits of my labor. And then I kind of go, okay, now I know what I'm doing it for. I don't need to be doing it for something else. Like, it's like, I'll give you an example. Like, a lot of brothers, we're going to touch on the marriage stuff again. Like, a lot of people are saying, I need to get my money up and because at the end of it, somehow, magically, I'll be ready for marriage. Yeah? Like those guys, you know? Those guys that do things because they want to see reward afterwards. And, for example, with ibadah as well, when we say that, we want to see Jannah at the end, but then, like, you know, you lose the journey, you know, the love of the journey, basically. And then a lot of the times it doesn't become effective because we're short-sighted people, us humans, you know?
Instant gratification.
We need something ASAP to kind of like rectify that we're on the right path, you know? Like even Ibrahim alayhi salam, bro, alayhi salam, do you say that?
Yeah.
Ibrahim alayhi salam even goes like, Ya Allah, there's something inside me, like I can't really, like I know that you exist and I believe in you and whatever, but it's like, there's something inside me, just an unrest, you know. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to split across those birds, and then watch the birds come together, and then he saw the miracle in front of his eyes, and that kind of eased his soul. So even prophets, you know, like even prophets, they have that unrest or that unruliness within them to be instinctive or to be impulsive, you know, like you want to just see something ASAP, you know. You need that sugar kick, or you need that
reassurance.
You know what I mean? You need that, you know, that reward, that dessert, whatever it is.
On the reward, it's like working.
I'm a fat boy, bro.
If you kind of value it more and feel happy about it when you felt like you earned it. Do you get it? If someone just keeps giving you cake every single day, it's like, oh, whatever. But if you felt like, oh, you know, you're on a strict diet and you get the cake, you kind of value it more.
Definitely.
And that's the kind of thing with the finances where it's like, I felt like I earned all this money, all this clothing I bought. I don't just buy because of my whims and desires. Because financially, if you want to become financially free, financially independent and stuff, you can't just spend with your whims and desires. It doesn't work. You have to kind of budget. You have to be conscious of it. It's like Allah's going to ask you about every single dollar you spend.
Definitely.
You get it? But if you kind of like say, I'll do X amount of things, I'll do this, I'll save $100 a week, and then when I hit 1,000, then I'll buy the product. That patience kind of makes you value it a lot more. It's like what I was doing about the camera. Remember? I could go now and spend $600 on a camera.
Definitely.
But it's like, I'd rather just put $100 a week, do some research so I don't rush purchases, because I'm naturally, I rush purchases.
Exactly. Everyone does, bro. Everything's impulsive buy nowadays, bro. ASOS is fast fashion, and you got all this other stuff. 25% off. You're like, you know what? 25% off.
Not.
And you know what's funny? You end up buying twice as much as you should have bought. You were only going there for a white t-shirt, and then you ended up buying
But
a white car.
You got no sale.
see how before we're talking about like, it might be a phase though. That's the only thing. Now it's like, I got to be conscious. I can't just waste $600,
Definitely.
you know, or $800 or $1,000 or even $100 because it might be a phase, like shoes and stuff like that. It's like, do I really need it? You have to kind of question it, which is, it's part of growing up. It's also part of like your own finances. You know, it's your money.
Definitely.
You can either save it or spend it. Think about the future.
Definitely.
You know? But I like the idea of rewards because I earned it and I've rewarded myself for it. Because if you're not getting rewarded like now, it's like, you know,
No,
you have to get something out of it. There has to be something good. It's like everything you do, imagine like, oh, in the next life I'm going to get rewarded. That's why you still get a nice feeling when you give sadaqah or when you pray and you go to the mosque. It's like, it's a good feeling too. This life and the next.
You got to treat yourself once in a while, buy new clothes, whatever it is. Because, bro, I still get roasted to this day by my sisters. Like, you got to buy new clothes. Such a minimalist.
And I guess you also have the responsibility for yourself, you know? You also have that amana of your own body. You need to take care of it.
Yeah.
You need to keep yourself happy, you know? You can't, I'm pretty sure that people can't stay motivated without seeing some sort of like fruits of their labor. Yeah. Or like, you know.
Finance is the hardest bit though. Because some people they like to spend money. They like to shop. It's not a bad thing for different people. But you kind of like have to discipline yourself. I wanted to talk about that with money. Does money make the world go around? Like young man, that, you know, they say men chase three things: power, girls, and money. Do we really chase money?
Are you saying us or just in general? Just as...
Do you chase money, or do you reckon society? A society definitely does.
Yeah.
Capitalist society now, bro.
How about you?
Do you know how the way there's that saying?
Oh, you're perfect. We get it.
No. Let me finish you. Let me finish. Yeah. So basically, you know the way there's that that saying where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no, I think it's a hadith where even if you're not doing riba, the dust from the riba is still gonna get onto you. You know, I feel like regardless of how much you want to say to yourself, oh, I'm a minimalist or I'm not a capitalist, and I don't really spend like that on money. I don't really like care about money that much. The truth is, you need money to make a difference or to do something. Yeah, and especially in this day and age, bro, money talks. You know,
100%.
As much as you like to deny it, yeah, you wanna. Oh, I'm a charitable guy. How you gonna help people without the money? How are you gonna be able to get that free time if you got bills to pay, you got your own responsibilities to take care of, and then you've got, you know what I mean? You got to pay for travel expenses. It's not like somebody comes down from the sky and goes, you want to do good? Good on you. Here you go. Here's $1 million. Go travel the world. Go to every African country, every Asian country, every North American, every homeless person on earth. Go do your thing. It doesn't work like that. You have to have the capital in order for you to you have to have the disposable capital in order for you to go other
Make a
places to
difference.
help, or if not to help another person, you know, or to fund your own dreams and stuff
Because
like that.
people say what they don't. Obviously, they don't want to work like. They don't want to overwork, like, you know, over hours and that. They want to have more time, you know, leisure, traveling. It's like those things cost a fair bit. Even just to have like leisure activities or whatever it is to enjoy life. Things actually cost stuff. It's not everything's free. And people say like, what's it? Money doesn't buy you happiness. Like, that's a hard one.
When he buys me a lot of football kits,
But
they make me happy.
money can take you many places and it can actually do a fair bit, bro. So it's like,
To live the life you want, you need obviously money most of the time, you know, to obviously have the amount of impact and benefit you want to do. But it's more about about when people like sacrifice their identity and their main focus is money, which we often see.
Yeah.
Like sometimes money, like, you know, people say money should be in your pocket, not in your heart. A lot of time money is in the heart, where it's like it breaks friendships, you know, and that kind of thing. Like, so what do you do in that scenario? Because obviously you guys have said money is needed. To be successful, to travel and live the life you want, money is needed. But how about like, how do you go for that money? Are you doing it in a way that still helps people, or are you, you know, stepping on a guy's throat to make as much money as you can?
I think it starts off with like how you're making your money, what your job is, how interested are you in that job, for example. Like, because at the end of the day, like obviously there's times where you have to work at a certain job to earn enough money for bills, whatever it is, then you can move on to the next thing. But you can't be doing a job where it's like you're actually not that interested in it, but you're only doing it for the sake of, you know, because money is money, or you have no other motivation. Would you say the same thing, or what do you think?
I don't know. I think like, because everyone talks about finding your passion. Your passion doesn't have to be your job. You might just do your job for X amount of hours and have your passion on the outside. Like, for example, now I enjoy fair dinkum, I enjoy soccer, I enjoy spending time with, you know, with my family and stuff. The job I do might not be my passion, but everything else it's one part of my life, work. Everything else in my life is what I'm passionate about, you know, or what I enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be like I have to find the dream job, because it's very difficult finding that dream job. You know, a lot of times you don't even know what that is.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they say different levels, different devils.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So basically, whenever you reach a different, like if we're talking like economic threshold, whenever you reach a different level of like income, there's different things you have to like deal with.
Different
like
tests.
And for example, like your quality of living, a lot of times, your quality of life is so high, like you know, NBA players, for example, the quality of living is so high that they'll do anything to kind of protect that quality of life, because they've already tasted the finest food, because they've already lived in the best houses, they've been around the right people, you know what I mean? They kind of like, they want to cling to that. And a lot of like musicians and all that sort of stuff talk about that situation. It drives them crazy. You know, or actresses, the ones that kill themselves and whatever, because they're not getting any roles, or because they're not, you know what I mean? Because what happens is, whenever you don't get what you want, like professionally or financially, that is at risk. The whole thing where you kind of like, the image that you've obtained, the materialistic things that you've obtained in this situation, or whatever you've, like, you know, the foods you've eaten, the places you've been, that's at risk now, you know, because the money that you've received. So for us, I feel like keeping in mind that, this is what's amazing about our deen, is the fact that we keep in mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I give, I take away, you know, with anything, you know, and whether or not we want to believe it, especially when we're in the moment, because I haven't really had money like that, I wouldn't really know how I react. But I'd hope that you've created the foundation without the money, in order for when the money comes, in order for me to be like okay when the money comes with it leaving me. Because easy come, easy go, you know, you hear all that sort of stuff, but I'm waffling right now.
No, it makes me think about last time you spoke about, you said situations don't make the man, they reveal him.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's the same with money, where people think, oh, he will change when he gets money. It's like you're going to be exactly the same, just with more money, maybe more greedy. It's going to show how greedy you are. So it's one of those things. It's like because of our deen, we can kind of say our rizq is written. Doesn't matter what happens, ups and downs in life.
Yep.
It's like it's written. But the contentment, the taqwa, and the consciousness and trust in Allah is one of the hardest things to build there.
Definitely.
Because like, you know, it's your money, it's your bank account. You see your bank account going down, and who's gonna pay the bills?
Bro, I was gonna say that, man. Listen, even like say we don't have bills yet, we're still young, you know, we're still living with our parents and whatever. I'll give you an example. You do this thing where you kind of say, I want this much money in my account, and I don't want it to go less than this. Say for example, in your head you're like, I got 8K, yeah. Now right now I'm on $8,005. My mum said, hey, go buy breakfast for the family, yeah. And then you look at your mum, you're like, I'm gonna cash on me. The only thing I can use is the money in my account. And you kind of start to get stingy, you know, you can feel that thing burning inside you, bro. You know what I mean? You start to realize, hubbu dunya is real, bro. Hubbu dunya is like, it's a legit thing. And like, it's not like your mom's telling you, hey, go buy your cousin that you don't like
a $3,000 car.
shoes, yeah, or a $3,000 car. Your mom's only telling you, hey, go get breakfast. It'll probably cost you like what, $80, $60
because it's going
max.
against your like whatever you've set your boundaries, and it's like once you let's say you got under that 8K, it's like, oh, I'm actually losing money now. It's like I didn't stick by what I said.
What's more important? You going under, and then next week you get paid, and you go back to 8K, or helping your mum, like saying, you know, that's what he's more talking about. Like you cared that much, and it hurt your heart, and it's just $80.
Yeah,
you know,
bro, it's actually a crazy thing, man. And we're actually not even on that level yet, or we're not even on like, you know what I mean, like a LeBron James or whatever they make, bro.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of like, we can already sense that there's some sort of thing within us, like this monster, you know, like this greedy prick inside us that's like just rearing its ugly head on occasions when we're tested, you know.
Money's different, bro. It's a big test. But I think like I've read like some financial books, like Dave Ramsey, Rich Dad Poor Dad, you know, all these guys. They all say you should donate money. Non-Muslims like us, we know
Stole that from us.
but they just know, they know giving makes somehow, like they use karma or they use all that stuff, what goes around comes down. They know it comes back to you in better ways, like tenfold. So they say. But it's like our deen tells us that Allah's writing it down as good deeds. These are good deeds. This is khair in the next life, and we're still stingy.
Allah.
I find that fascinating that non-Muslims are saying that.
Yeah, that's keys to be financially free. Donate money. What the hell? Doesn't make sense.
Because imagine, like, as a non-Muslim, honestly, one of the reasons, like, you would probably donate, like, as bad as it sounds, where it's like just to show, like, that you donate, show others that you donate,
yeah,
as
definitely.
a non-Muslim. But then it's like you're actually doing it, so you're expecting more back. But how does that work?
No, 100%. There's it's weird that they kind of link financial gain with like being generous.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
I know.
Like when I think about it, it's for us. It's if we get the money back here, we don't want it. You know, we're like, cause that means that
We've missed out.
there might be like a on the other side, there might be a lack of funds there now because I gave the money, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me the reward or the justice for the money that I gave in this world.
Yeah,
You know, and whenever we hear these guys talk about it, it's kind of like they know the system. You know, it's kind of like they know the whole transaction with God.
yeah.
But they're kind of like exploiting it for worldly gain.
Subhanallah.
I
I
don't
know what
know,
they're
man.
doing, but I think a big thing with money
Not
is
wrong.
like, because money is so temporary, and we all know our bank accounts have went up and down for multiple different reasons, you know, and it's normal in life. Obviously, we're young, we're different than going in debt and, you know, bankrupt and having 100K and losing on investments. We're not at that level, but it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta identify who you are with or without money.
Yeah.
And don't let money change who you are, because we realize like a lot of people have a firm, strong identity, but when you're tested, you crumble or you fail or you don't stick to who you are. You don't stand for anything. And I think money is a good test, but it's one of those things where it's like you have to build your identity. It's like Tansel said about, it's hard to rewire your identity. So instead of like, you're better safe than sorry. You know, like prevention is better than the cure. So build your identity now before you even go start making 150K a year and you have 3 houses and you feel like you're a boss.
Yeah, self-awareness is mad, bro. Because you have to be like, you know, if you've ever been in a situation where there's you and then there's, for example, somebody you're arguing with, or like somebody you really dislike, but you know when you left that you said something wrong, and it's gonna kill you and your ego to go back to that person and say, you know what, it's my bad, man. That right there, those situations, they will help you build that kind of like that fortitude, you know, for when experiences like this happen. Like for example, you start getting, yeah, man, I'm getting I'm getting the bag, you know. It's coming in now. We're starting to make Dosh on a different level. We're meeting different people. Look who are around now. You know what I mean? And then like, you know how the way you have that voice that comes back to you because you've built that self-awareness when you're younger. Hey, because you're losing yourself, you know. And then you kind of have situations where you're like, oh, like you have like a split second. Like all it takes is like a split second thought of self-awareness where you're kind of like, oh man, then like I actually have changed. Like this situation has actually changed me, you know. Like for example, I remember we were giving shit to one of our mates who got married. Everyone was like, oh yeah, man, you got married and you changed. Da, da, da. Like you don't want to see the boys anymore. You're always keen. You're always down there. Like, and then he kind of goes, you know what, Wally, he's all right. My bad. You know?
Yeah.
Like he was like,
and you guys were playing with him, yeah?
Yeah, we were just joking. We were taking the piss. But he actually did, like, you'd see him less often. Like he'd basically been
That's
off
normal.
the grid.
Yeah.
Which you kind of like, you'll be like, yeah, no, we know you got married and whatever, you want to be with the girl a little bit more than us. But like to see him come back and go, now you know, Wallah, he's all right.
Skin.
Were you guys were speechless?
Like, no, we were kind of like, damn, like, can you imagine like what was the process he had to go? Because he got cut initially when we were bagging him about it. He got cut initially. He's like, nah, bro, he can't say our doggies, da, da, da. And then he kind of like, we didn't see him for a bit. And then after a bit, he just came back and he just goes, yeah, nah, Wally's all right, you know?
Took ownership.
You know what I mean? But it's kind of like, and then I I told him, like, what the hell changed your mind? You know what I mean? Like, what made you think that we, and he goes like, beforehand, I always promised myself that I was gonna be completely 100% honest, even if it's against myself, you know? And a lot of the times we don't do that. We always back ourselves. We always be biased. We always tell ourselves, yeah, no, I'm right here. But I know how I feel. But then, like, you don't realize that from a non-biased perspective, you're completely in the wrong. No one knows that 3 weeks before that, you and that guy had a fight, and he smacked you on the back of your head, and you didn't like it. And then 3 weeks later, in this fight now, you're backing yourself because he smacked you 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? It's all situational stuff, but
self-awareness, man.
lowest thing, but
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It hurts your ego hard.
Yeah. Do you guys want to learn to budget better? Or that's something that you guys aren't that interested in?
I've got a mad piece of advice for everyone. This has helped me in my life. I'll say in Arabic. Harik your masura. That's what my uncle. That's what my grandfather told me.
Okay.
And mashallah is pretty well off, mashallah. But he goes, harik your masura. Means basically, keep it moving. Any idle money is money lost. Yeah. And basically, what happens is if you let your money just sit and idle, money depreciates. I don't know what that inflation stuff is. I don't do economy in university, but what I heard is if you're not making money, if you're not using your money, you're basically losing it. Yeah, so you might as well, for example, I used to buy and sell sneakers. Used to be a reseller. Yeah. So if I had money in my account, I want to get my money up, or I wanted to like increase my savings. I didn't just save. I went and bought, for example, a $300 shoe. Yeah. But I sold it for $600-700. So I doubled it.
Eesh.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you just gotta be a little bit smarter with
Why do you have dead shoes then?
me. What dead shoes do I have?
Because you sold them all.
Yeah, the loves of dollar. Nah,
That name what dead shoe that I have.
I don't even know half your shoes.
Exactly.
Nah, that's true. You know, Rich Dad Poor Dad. His first rule is, savers are losers. Because saving money just like you said, in the bank, it's not doing anything for you. It's making the bank richer. So obviously that kind of thing. But I think budgeting and stuff like that, financial intelligence would be an interesting thing to get someone on to speak about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll belt him after and get his money. But no, I'm joking. Well, when you come on, I will.
We love you.
You're going to invest in Fed income.
But no, yeah, what do you think about budgeting?
I think it's a must. You know, everyone's different. You know, you can't just watch one YouTube video and be like, I want to copy this kind of thing. But go around, watch some videos, read a couple different books about it, you know, and then kind of learn what works for you.
Seen the guy that does the credit card stuff on it's Money Explained. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get Ahmed to check a link up or whatever. Not a link, a reference point The guy has like 23 credit cards,
Mm.
and basically what he does is he uses it to pay for his flights, to get free stuff. Da, da, da. And I was like, what the hell? This guy's a weirdo. Man.
23.
It works in the States. Works beautifully.
It's weird.
Because
man.
half the stuff you buy everything on credit card, and then you obviously pay it off, no interest stuff, but you get points on it. And because of the points, you get free flights, free this. Like American Express, if you use it, there's so many free things you get as a business owner. You can kind of like benefit the system in, you know, the best way for you. It's like, bro, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, and like, it's a big thing. They're on $1 salaries.
Because they put all the money back in the business.
It's
That's
a business expense,
Yeah.
but their salary is literally $1. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
but
their net worth is what? Like,
yeah,
you know
but
what I
it's
mean?
it's the thing where
That's
they
crazy.
use the system where they didn't pay tax twice,
Mm.
and businesses can utilize the system. But it will be interesting to get the guy on
Mm.
or female on and then chat about it.
Done. All right.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much for listening. As usual, like and subscribe. Don't forget that we're on all podcasting platforms. Google Play, Apple Podcasts. Yeah, we are on Spotify, yeah?
Yeah.
He's surprised. We are, bro. I put it up on Podbean, and then Podbean disperses it. Maybe there's brothers in like Kenya or something like that. They only have a what's it called? We had
Google Play.
one brother in Kenya. I saw it. You know, top quality bloke.
We
But
recognize you.
yeah, like we said, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you on the next episode.